Okay, so this one now is about drawing figures. A figure that is not a polygon because one side is not a segment. So you're going to draw a figure that has one side that's not a segment. So I often draw a semicircle. You could have drawn something that looks like this, a little S. So something that has a side that's not a segment. So the next one says 2 different hexagons. What does it mean to be a hexagon?
6 sides.
Yep, a hexagon means 6 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. The other one is just 6 sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. After that, this one says draw a pentagon. Well, how many sides does a pentagon have?
5.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one gives us names, so we gotta name them A, B, C, D, E, and then it tells us to draw the diagonals from vertex D. So from D, we can't draw the ones next to it, so that's the E and the C. So DA and DB would be the only ones we're drawing. Okay, so this part is telling if it is going to be a parallelogram. So the first one up is 19 a parallelogram.
Yes.
How do you know?
Angles are
Yes.
opposite.
Opposite.
Angles are congruent.
Yep, opposite angles are congruent. Next up, we have number 20. Is this going to be a parallelogram?
Yes.
How do you know?
Because, actually, no, because lines intersect.
So you can use that one, no, lines intersect. Which that one could technically be a diagonal. They just didn't finish giving us information. No. So I wrote no, not enough info. Okay, number 3. You know you have a pair of parallel sides and a pair of congruent sides. Is this one going to be a parallelogram?
Yes.
Yes, this was one that was slipped in for a rule in 6.6, and it said if you have one pair of parallel lines, or sides, we'll go sides, that is also congruent. So as long as the same side is parallel and the congruent, it's going to be a parallelogram. Okay, number 22. Is this going to be a parallelogram?
Yes.
How do you know?
All the sides are parallel.
Yep, both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Okay, what about this one? We have 2 different ways to prove this. Yep.
Yes.
Don't you gotta add? No, subtract.
So we can do it that way. So there's many ways for us to do that. We can. It might be quicker just to do 180 minus 65. What's 180 minus 65?
115.
115. So now we can say yes, opposite.
Angles are congruent.
Opposite angles
Are congruent. Your other option was to add 65 plus 15, 65 plus 15, and you see that both consecutive angles are supplementary. Okay, number 24. Is this going to be a parallelogram?
Yes.
How do you know?
Diagonals are bisected.
Diagonals are bisected. Excellent. Okay, this is a parallelogram, and you see of opposite angles. In a parallelogram, opposite angles are what? Congruent. So we have 5x minus 9 equals 3x plus 11. We got to combine like terms. I'm going to subtract my 3x. I end up with 2x minus 9 equals 11. I'm going to add 9 to both sides. I end up, 2x equals 20. Divide by 2. X equals 10. I'll take that as a win. Okay, for our next one's a rhombus. What do we know about all the sides in a rhombus? They're not necessarily parallel there. They're congruent. So here, 2y plus 3 equals 5y minus 6. Combine like terms. I'm going to subtract over 2y. I end up with 3 equals 3y minus 6. Add 6 to both sides. I get 3y equals 9. Divide by 3. Y equals
9.
Y equals
3.
3.
Who said that?
Okay, and then our next one up, you have KU and you have UM. Those are the diagonal. What do we know about diagonals in a parallelogram? Bisected. So we can have 3x plus 3 equals 4x minus 4. Subtract 3x. You end up with 3 equals x minus 4. Add 4 to the other side. How much is my x value? 7. Okay, this is ones we really have to start remembering the properties. This is a rhombus. And inside a rhombus, what do the diagonals do?
Intersect.
They intersect
Bisect.
and they bisect, but there's another quality.
I don't know, Miss.
That means all the sides are congruent.
So we have all the sides being congruent. That's true too. There's something about the diagonals. They form,
Oh, 90 degrees.
yep,
90
they
degrees, that's
are
right.
perpendicular. So that means all of these are right angles. So to find y, we have to use the fact that we know it's going to be 90 minus 48, which is 42.
Yeah.
Okay, our next one up. What do we know about consecutive angles in a parallelogram? What about consecutive angles?
That they equal 180 degrees is supplementary.
Yep, they're supplementary, 180.
Good job, Candy. You didn't do it
Sucks.
What is that?
180 equals,
42.
42.
Above that.
okay, so 180 equals 70 plus 11x. Subtract our 70, subtract our 70. We get 110, 11x. Divide by 11.
Me.
X equals
No, that was
10.
Sean.
10. Okay, this one is a rhombus. What do we know about diagonals in a rhombus?
Bisect.
They bisect, but they also...
Bisect.
The diagonal.
We learned it in this number 28.
90 degrees.
90 degrees. So this one, angle X has to be 90 degrees. Okay, the next one is, again, a rhombus. A rhombus is a parallelogram. It's just a special type of parallelogram. So we know that a rhombus angles are going to be supplementary. So 180 equals 130 plus X. Subtract 130, subtract 130. X equals 50. And then we have a parallelogram. And a parallelogram diagonals, what?
It bisects.
Bisect. So we have 2x equals 10. Divide by 2, x equals.
5.
Okay, and then we have a parallelogram here. Opposite sides of the parallelogram are
Bisect.
not bisected.
Congruent.
Congruent.
Come on, Austin. Take it.
Okay,
Well,
we're going to subtract our 15. You get 2x equals x. We're going to subtract x over.
Mm-hmm.
We end up with x
3x.
equals 0.
Oh,
X
Zero.
equals 0.
X equals 0.
Okay, so here you see you have a 36 here. Opposite sides mean this has to be 36. This one's a 28. That means down here has to be a 28. This is a 62. That means up here has to be a 62. Okay, our next part is figuring out the missing angle. That's going to be this angle right here and this angle right here. You guys might have a flashback from our last review and then our quiz about how you guys have to do this. Remember, we have to set it equal to 360, and then you add up all the angles. So 62 plus x plus 28 plus 36 plus 62 plus x plus 28 plus 36. I'm going to do the easy one. 360 equals 2x. I'm going to let somebody else put that in their calculator.
152.
252. Okay, subtract 252 from both sides.
That's
108
Yes.
Yeah, 108.
equals 2x. Divide by 2.
Hold on.
54.
Oh
X
my
equals
gosh.
54. So that means we know this value here is 54. And we know this value here is 54.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, let's do a little bit more math. We want to find this angle here. We know that this whole figure is a triangle. So we can do 180 minus 36 minus 62. And you should get something like 82, I think.
Maybe.
I'll let you check it out.
Yeah,
What is this?
it's 82.
Okay, this one here is 82.
I said 82.
So here we want to find the other one right here. So that's going to be 180 minus that other angle of 82 because they're linear pairs, which is going to be 98. Which means by vertical angles, this one has to be 98.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to do my best to show this using a highlighter tool about what angle we're looking for. So our first one up is MCT. CT, that's right here.
62.
Yep, so it's in between those two side lengths. Do you guys see where he got the 62?
Yeah.
No.
So between our
I like you to pay attention.
M, our C, and our T, the two sides meet. The angle meets at 62.
So that's
So our answer is going to be 62 for the first one. So 62. Our next one up is car, C-A-R.
would it be 28?
So that's this one over here.
36.
No.
No, you add those together.
So we have two sides. They meet right here. So it's the whole angle between those two sides. So 28 plus 36, which is?
64.
Is it 64?
Yes.
Okay.
64.
Okay, our next one is AMR. AMR.
82.
It's 82 because it's right here. AMR meets right here. 82. Okay. The next one up is ACR.
54.
AC. Yep, that's this top part here. So that's 54. Last one up is ACT. ACT, that's this whole big angle here.
116.
116. Okay, I didn't clear that angle. And then the last parts are sides. CT. Well, CT is opposite of 12, so it has to be 12. Because opposite sides are congruent. TR is next, has to be 10 because opposite of that 10.
10.